Hi folks, my name is Sam, aka Daisy, aka owner of Daisy Chains Pole Dance and Fitness. I'm bringing you today another mini tutorial Monday, and today's focus will be the reverse grab spin, also known as flying body spiral on static pole. So what you'll need is, of course, your pole set to static. You might also want to have some wristbands because what happens is your wrist tends to wrap when you do the spin, so you may end up with some nice lovely marks like my wrist. Also, if you have them, some exercise bands are a great tool to help you properly warm up your shoulders, because having a proper warm up for this trick is paramount for safety and preventing injury. For all dancers, you're really vulnerable if your body goes cold, so it's great to keep yourself warm at all times and do a really thorough warm-up of your shoulders. I'll do a quick demo on how I use these bands to help me with like internal, external rotation of the shoulder, keep myself warmed up. So I'm taking my good old light resistance Walmart band, I'm pulling it towards me, I'm putting the right end into the left end, and I'm grabbing that end I just inserted and pulling towards me. I then walk to the opposite side of the pole and I pull tight to get that tension. Here I can practice some internal or external rotation depending on which arm is holding the band on the pole to get my shoulders nice and warm and ready to do some serious shoulder engagement with what we're about to do. It's a great tool to have, and it's super cheap. It's like $13 from Walmart, so I highly recommend any dancers purchase such a thing to practice at home. And you can spin it, which is fun. The spin is tricky in a few ways. It does require a lot of technique and shoulder strength. Also, it's a blind spin, so you're kind of going in blind. You can't really quite see where your hand is going to land, so it kind of takes some practice of muscle memory and spatial awareness to know where to place your hand behind you. Okay, so I'll walk you through a few tips. Again, my reverse grab spin isn't like the most spectacular one in the world, but I have achieved this skill, so I'm just hoping that the tips will help. So I'll walk you through a few progressions training up to this move, depending on where you're at. The first skill to work on is our float walks. So I'm pulling up through my shoulder and my lats as I'm stepping around the pole, engaging to lift myself up. And I'm going to be practicing this on both sides of my body as to prevent any muscle imbalances. You can definitely tell which side's my good side. Next thing I'll practice is my chair spins. Chair spins are pretty much a prerequisite to the reverse grab on static, just because it helps you build strength in your shoulders to be able to support your body with only one arm. If I'm a master of chair spins, then I can go into my cannonball spin, which is really getting you set up for the reverse grab. Once I've mastered that, I can practice my reverse grab. Yay! So ultimately, I'm incorporating all the skills we just practiced. So my float walk, I'm driving my outside leg up and I'm ideally fanning it out, splitting my legs, and then my other hand's coming in behind, pushing, allowing me to rotate around the pole. You can land either softly on your knees if you'd like to, like in the first video, or on your feet. So in addition to those progressions, what I suggest is when you're training your reverse grab spin, no matter what stage you're at, if you're just doing float walks or if you're working on your chair spin, just imagine that your body is going in a circle around the pole. Envision a circle shape. And I think that will really help because part of the reason why some people miss their hand, that's the hand that's coming around last on the pole, is that they're going out straight. They're not actually completing a circle or a sweeping motion around the pole, so they're not quite lined up right to have contact with the hand. So just in your mind, every time you practice, just kind of imagine sweeping your legs into form a circle. And I think that like psychology will help you in the end get the right shape. We really want to have a shape in all the spins we do around the pole, that circle shape. If it's like an oval or a square, I don't know, you just won't be lined up right. So whenever you practice, just envision a circle, take deep breaths, stretch in between, stretch out your shoulders. If anything hurts, stop and come back to it later. And I assure you with practice, you will be able to get it, because I totally thought I would never be able to do this for a million years. And here I am teaching people how to do it. So I believe in you. Let me know if you have any more questions, and hopefully these little tips were helpful.